On July 19th, 2021, a YouTuber and auditor named Mr. Jeff arrived at Port Wentworth Town Hall. He was not there for business as usual. Instead, he peacefully displayed a sign that read, "God bless homeless veterans." After completing his official duties inside, Mr. Jeff went outside to continue holding his message. Apparently, his presence disturbed city employees, so the situation was reported to the police, who arrived on the scene, interacted with Mr. Jeff, and the incident was recorded by a body camera.
He's the restaurant.
Yeah.
She told him, yeah, you could go upstairs, but he didn't go.
Okay.
He just went on out the door, and now he's kind of hanging out front.
All right, I'll ask him to.
So just sweetly ask him to just float along.
Yes, ma'am. I'll take care of that for you. I love serving multi-purpose rolls. Just to let you know, we also reset the AC to 72 upstairs, so it'd be cool for you guys for the...
Good, thank you. Yeah, but he's just standing out there with his sign.
All right. Let's see what's going on. What's going on, brother?
Hey, not much.
How you doing, man?
All right.
Doing okay?
Yes.
All right. What's your first name?
Sergeant Hemington?
Yeah.
My name first name's Jeff. Jeff?
Jeff?
Yes, sir.
All right, Jeff. Hey, man. First, I appreciate the sign. That's awesome.
I'm hard of hearing, so can you speak up?
Yes, sir. So I appreciate the sign. That's pretty awesome. The ladies in front have asked me if you could go find another location to hang out. And you're not doing anything wrong. You're not breaking any laws by any means.
Okay.
They just right here in front of City Hall is a little bit different area. You know what I'm saying? It's city property.
City property?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you can go legitimately. You can go at the corner on this side of the grass. You can go anywhere along the side of the road.
Yes.
Just this is city property, so they were asking if you don't mind just find another location. You're not breaking any laws. You're not in trouble.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather just hang out here.
Well, that's kind of the issue. They don't want us just sitting out here. So, because it's city property, so they can ask you to leave if they want you to.
But you said I'm not breaking any laws or anything?
Well, no, but they're also the city owns the property, so they can ask you just to hang out somewhere else.
I'd rather not.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
Did he give you a hard time?
Mm-hmm.
He did. Oh, that's hard.
413.
Yeah, he give him some water and do it.
Yeah.
413.
Kind of like straight cat.
413.
So we're holding out with a 71 in front of City Hall. It's non-combative, but can you start me a patrol unit?
Well, you're gonna send up 413 City Hall, 7-way.
All right, so technically he's not breaking laws, but he's on city property, so
Yes.
we can ask him to leave.
Yes.
And that's what I told him. I said, you're not breaking any laws. The ladies don't feel comfortable with you standing out here.
Got it.
I said, you're welcome to go stand over in the corner, down there, down there, down there. So now if he doesn't leave, it's trespassing.
Okay. Well, hopefully he will just go.
He's already,
right
well, he's
there.
like, I don't feel like leaving. I was like, well, I get that, but he's like, I'd rather not.
Feel
I'm
like it? Is that what he said?
he doesn't really, he'd rather not. He was polite about it. And I said, well, you're not breaking any laws, but you are on city property. I said, it's owned by the city. If they don't feel comfortable with you standing out here, even though you're spreading a good message, you have to leave the property.
He can't stand in front of my city hall to my sports homeless vets. Like,
Well, I mean,
we can't have
if
that.
it wasn't,
And
you
he
know,
probably could.
but considering it's city property, it's considered private property.
Yeah.
So he can go stand on the roadside anywhere else. So I got a patrol unit coming, that way I can talk to him some more and see what's going on.
Keep us safe.
And then I got to come see you. So, I'm not trying to give you a hard time, dude. So, is there a reason why you want to stand here?
Sergeant Heminger of the Port Wentworth Police Department approached Mr. Jeff to inquire about the situation. In the recorded encounter, Sergeant Heminger appeared to acknowledge Mr. Jeff's lawful behavior. However, only the employees pressured Mr. Jeff to leave because they felt uncomfortable. The employees argued that this was city property, giving them the authority to fire him. Fortunately, the First Amendment protected Mr. Jeff's right to freedom of speech and assembly. Public property generally allows the expression of views as long as it is legal. Sergeant Heminger, apparently unsure of the law himself, returned to the building to ask for backup and cast doubt on the legitimacy of the employee's complaints.
God put it in my heart to stand right here and spread the message. God bless the homeless veteran.
I'm all for that. I'm all for you recording. I got no issue with that, okay?
All right.
I got my body cam on. So,
Okay.
I don't even know what that's for. Probably so you can get across the intersection. Anyways, so what I did was I called for a patrol unit because I'm actually working for the code enforcement section, okay? I'm still a police officer. This is city property, okay? And you do have the right to spread your message anywhere you want unless it's private property. Then they have the right to ask you to leave. They can't tell you tear your sign up or anything like that,
Right.
but that's the whole point of why I was out here talking to you. The ladies didn't feel comfortable with somebody just hanging out in front of City Hall.
Okay.
And being that it's on city property, they have the right to ask you to leave. You can go stand on that corner, you can go stand anywhere it's not actual city property, and do as you wish, brother, and spread the message.
Okay.
So that's all I'm saying, okay? Now, if you refuse to leave, then it would be trespassing, and then you'd be in trouble. So I'm asking you nicely, if just to relocate. That's all I'm asking you to do. You can go spread that message with love any way you want, other than city property right here. Exactly. You understand what I'm saying?
This is city property?
All this is City Hall. It's just city property.
All right. Am I being trespassed?
As of now, you are. Give me your ID. Now it's an investigation. I want your ID.
Leave then.
No, give me your ID. You're not free to go now. Because now you want to play the game. Go ahead and give me your identification.
You're trespassing me, I'll leave.
Give me that identification or you're going to jail.
Give me my...
Give me your identification so I can identify you and I can trespass you. Then you can leave. I'm not going to ask you a third time.
If I get arrested, I'll lose my job.
I'm not trying to arrest you. I'm trying to get you to comply with me, and you're trying to refuse to do that. So listen to me carefully. I want your identification so I can identify you and trespass you.
What crime do you suspect me of?
Sir?
What crime do you suspect me of?
Despite repeated confirmations of Mr. Jeff's innocence, Sergeant Heminger resorted to scare tactics. He threatened Mr. Jeff with a trespass violation if he did not leave. The situation became even more baffling when Sergeant Heminger mistakenly classified public property as private property. Public property, by definition, encompasses all areas managed by city government units. In essence, Mr. Jeff was legally exercising his rights, and the trespass charges were unfounded. However, Sergeant Heminger seemed determined to escalate the situation. He repeatedly misquoted the legislation in an attempt to restrict Mr. Jeff's rights. The situation reached a turning point when Sergeant Heminger threatened Mr. Jeff with a trespass violation based on a misapplication of Georgia Code section. This statute criminalizes malicious trespass on private property. Since Mr. Jeff was both on public property and acting lawfully, any arrest would have been a clear violation of his rights.
You're failing to follow a lawful order, which is they've asked you to leave city property or asked me to ask you to leave. You're refusing to do so. Now I'm going to trespass you from the property because I asked you 3 times nicely to step off somewhere else.
Leave then?
No, now you wanted to refuse, so now I'm going to identify you and I can trespass you.
If I don't give you my ID, I'll go to jail.
That's exactly correct. You'll be arrested. You'll be fingerprinted and released. So all I want is your identification. No, not because of the sign, but because you failed to comply with my investigation, which was I asked you to leave nicely initially. You wanted to play the game with me. Now I'm playing the game with you.
Well, I said
Let me have your stop. Let me have your identification.
I said I would
identification. I'm not gonna say it. Handcuffs. Turn around.
I'm engaged in constitutional protection.
Turn around.
Okay.
Let me see your sign. You put your phone in your pocket. All you have to do is give me your ID, bud. What's so hard with that? You know the game because you want to say, am I being trespassed? You could have gave me your ID, I would have trespassed you and let you walk off, brother.
Yeah, you were telling me to leave. I would rather not leave.
No, you're playing the game with me is what you're doing.
If you're trespassing me, I'll leave.
I asked you to leave before that. You wanted to play the game and make me trespass you. Don't play dumb games, man. It's going to get you in trouble.
Don't turn it. Why are you stopping
I'm putting
the
it in your
recording?
phone. I'm putting it in your...
You just stopped the recording, and it's all recorded right here.
And it's all recorded right here. I'm saving your
Can you
battery.
please take my phone and start recording again?
Sure, gladly. If that's what you want me to do, brother, I will do that for you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay,
Put it in your
my
pocket.
shirt pocket right here.
I'm going to put it in this pocket so it won't fall out because it's an iPhone. I don't want to break it, dude. I don't have the money to replace your phone. You see how this easy this would have been? Here, officer, here's my ID. Now, I probably would have trespassed you because I asked you at least 5 to 6 times to step off the property. You said politely that you didn't want to do that. I didn't have a problem with that.
Sergeant Heminger's actions were a clear violation of Mr. Jeff's constitutional rights. His dismissal of Mr. Jeff's efforts as a game reveals a worrying attitude among some law enforcement officials. Furthermore, Sergeant Heminger's unlawful demand for identification and threat of arrest for non-compliance constituted a further violation.
I went back and asked the ladies, I said, what do you feel comfortable with? They said, no, I don't feel comfortable with them standing out here because there's a bunch of ladies that work in here. Even though you're not being violent, they have the right to ask you to leave, partner. All you had to do is go step off to the next land property over there and you could spread the message of love all day. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to bust your chops, man. I'm just doing my job.
I'm going to remain silent for this one.
Okay, you have that right. You have that right. The only thing you have to answer is name, date of birth, and about your current address. Is all that current on your license?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. All right, hang tight for a second.
Mr. Jeff was arrested for simply exercising his rights. Sergeant Heminger then returned inside to brief the employees and was apparently satisfied with the outcome. This not only violated Mr. Jeff's First Amendment right to free speech, but also his Fourth Amendment right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures. The arrest qualifies as a seizure under the law, which constitutes a clear violation.
I'm going to grab your sign so we can take that with you, okay?
You had to take him on in, huh?
Yeah, he's under arrest.
Okay.
I asked him 4 more times. I said, listen, you're not breaking the law essentially by standing out with a sign. I said, but ladies don't feel comfortable with you being on the property because it's just a bunch of ladies, even though you're not being disorderly. I said, they have the right to ask you to leave. It is City Hall property. All you have to do is go to the next corner over here, out on towards the road. As long as you're not on the roadway, you can go anywhere else, and I'll let you walk off. So he started playing the game. Well, am I being trespassed? I was like, you know what, let me have your ID. And then he refused to give it to me, so now it was being charged with obstruction. So, yeah, he's like, well, I'll just leave now. I was like, no, we're past that point now. We're playing the game.
See, there, gave you a chance.
So, I'm going to take his sign and everything with him. He's going to end up getting released, but I'm going to have him banned from the property.
Good.
From City Hall. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
That's all I'm doing. They're not public property saying God bless the homeless veterans.
Right, but they asked you just to go stand in another corner, man. It's just because there's a bunch of ladies up here. That's all it was. And then you tried to play the game with me, right?
No, but you don't understand. Half the people you're talking to are vets. I mean, we care about that, but we also have rules. I mean, you can't just do what you want.
And then when I asked you to leave, and you said, well, I'm being trespassed, I said, well, not yet, but I'm trying to help you just walk off. And he said, well, I'm being trespassed? I said, okay, now we're going to play the game. And then you refused to give me your ID. That was a big problem. Now you're under arrest for obstruction. Can one of y'all put him in the car? Follow this officer over here.
Double check them hands before you put them in your phone. Double lock.
I asked him like 6 times. I said, look, you're not really breaking the law. I said, other than the fact that the ladies don't want you sitting here in front of City Hall, you can spread the love anywhere you want to.
Sure.
Just go stand on that corner, down there, anywhere else. I said, so I need you to leave, dude, because they don't feel comfortable with you being up here. It's city property, they can ask you to leave.
property and he'd be fine.
Yeah. So after like 6 times of that, I was like, yo, I said, well, okay, you know what? I said, are you gonna leave? He's like, am I being trespassed? I was like, now we're playing the game. Okay, let me have your ID. He refused 3 times to give it to me. Done. So
It would have been very easy. You kept that.
I'm gonna put this in Florida.
I didn't check it over.
I'm gonna run it on my tablet. Just come over here, man. Change my damn direct deposit, dude. Shit.
Another vet, 27 years right here in the Marine Corps.
8 years active duty.
All we want you to do is just do the right thing, man. Just do, we all have rules.
413.
That's it. What happened to
1095 1 mail.
I got it. All right, man. We'll work it out. Keep on,
All right. He wanted his phone to stay recording, but now he's under arrest, so we can.
I mean, all of our shit's going, so he can do a.
He'd open records request. I left it while before he was under arrest.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, all right. That's his sign and whatever else he's got. And if I first started talking to him, he's being cool, man. I was like, yeah, I appreciate the message. It's all good. I said, listen to me, though. I said, the ladies in the office just don't feel comfortable with somebody just standing out here. I said, they just want you to go stand, on the other piece of property.
Where was he at?
Right
Literally in the doorway.
Well, it's away from it, but like by the pillars. I said,
I mean, that's in the doorway.
Well, yeah. And she said, well, and he came in to use the bathroom. I was like, okay, I had no problem with that. Let him use the bathroom, but he walked out.
Okay.
And just came around here with a sign. So.
All right, you want to...
Yeah, I'm going to go to 400 help process and all that.
I was going to say, Bowles.
I got to go down there because that's my cuff.
Well, my cuffs are in the truck.
Well, then you want to transport then? Well, I don't need to tie two people up for one person's job.
I'll give you a pair of cuffs, dude. I got like 5 sets.
That's fine.
Just give them back to me.
You only got one set of cuffs, Corporal?
I'm going to put this in here so we make sure he gets his property
Man,
back.
you use both of them.
Sergeant.
Stubborn people.
Oh, I'm good, brother. I got a pair, but thank you.
You want to cry about it? I'll give you a set
No, I
home.
wasn't crying.
All right, help hear me out,
Please.
if you don't mind, sir.
No problem. That's what I get paid to do, right?
I was trying to not go this route. And I was trying really hard to be nice. But look, just you can go stand across the corner, brother, and do what you want.
I do my best to give all. I try my best to give all veterans as much room as I can possibly
But
give them.
even if he wasn't being rude at first. And I said, look, dude. I said, the reason they're asking you to leave is because you're standing out here at the front of City Hall, even with a great message. There's a bunch of ladies up
That guy
here.
had the motorcycle. I took his ID, but I put it back in his mailbox because he left.
So,
Oh.
anyways, I'll grab a case number and I'll come to the office.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool.
I'll meet you there.
Thanks, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. $413. 1095 has been turned over to 440 for transport, and he'll advise mileage in just a minute. I'll be clear, status 3. Can I have a case number?
$45,045.
Hold on a second, sir. Go ahead. Come up here to change the thermostat and daggum drop off my direct deposit, and as I pull up, there's a guy walking up with a sign, and apparently he came in to use, while I was upstairs, he came in and asked to use the bathroom, and he had like a homeless veteran sign, but he wasn't like pandering or asking for money, he's just holding the sign. So he comes in, uses the bathroom, and then walks directly back out, doesn't even use the bathroom, and then comes back around and stands in front of City Hall, just showing the sign. Normally not breaking any laws. The ladies up here didn't feel comfortable with him just standing up here, so they were asking me to leave, and I'm like, all right, cool, it's city property, no problem. And he wasn't up here doing any business or anything like that. And so I go start talking to him, and he's playing the game. And after asking him 4 or 5 times to leave, and I think he gave me his first name, and then he says, well, I'm being trespassed. I said, look, man, you're not breaking the law. I said, but the ladies don't want you up here. So essentially, if you don't want to leave, I can trespass you and then make you leave the property. And so then I asked him for his identification because it kept going. He started playing the game, started recording the interaction, trying to draw it out. I told him, go ahead and give me your ID. And I asked for it several times. He wouldn't do it, so I arrested him for obstruction. So I'm on my way to 400.
Mr. Jeff's peaceful advocacy resulted in an arrest and nearly 2 years of legal repercussions. The obstruction charge was eventually dropped with the help of pro bono legal assistance. The Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression has since filed a civil rights lawsuit against Sergeant Heminger, seeking damages for the violation of Mr. Jeff's rights. Perhaps most surprisingly, Sergeant Heminger was promoted to lieutenant despite this incident.